Hello and welcome back to this series, A Coach's View of. And today I'm going to go back to basics a little bit. I'm going to talk about a coach's view of coaching because I'm conscious that I've been in the coaching world a few years now. So I'm quite familiar with all the terminology. I speak to a lot of other coaches. My social media feed is full of coaching stuff. So I'm very familiar with what coaching is and what it isn't. But I'm also conscious that some people aren't. So if you've never been coached, never spoken to a coach, you may be wondering, well, what's all this coaching stuff about? And is it the same as counselling? Is it the same as therapy? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and try and hopefully demystify some stuff for you. So, as with everything else, this is a coach's view of, and I am the coach in this situation. So, it's my view. It's not a right or wrong. It's not a definitive answer to anything. It's just my personal opinion as it stands at this moment when I'm recording this video. So, let's start off with what coaching isn't. Coaching isn't the same as therapy. It's not the same as counselling. So, how are they different? Well, I'm going to use very broad strokes in this, very broad definitions. So, broadly speaking, counselling and therapy tend to look back at your past and how you've arrived at where you are in your life at the moment. So, they'll look at maybe childhood trauma or just how you were brought up, maybe a specific traumatic incident, and it doesn't have to be anything massively traumatic, just what's gone on in your life which brought you to a point you are now where you feel like you need a little bit of help and support. So it tends to look backwards. Coaching is different in that it tends to, as I say, broadly speaking, be more forward focused. Now, obviously, what's happened in your past is going to inform where you are now. So there is a chance that we'll touch on that because you can't really not. But generally speaking, coaching takes you where you are now and looks at where you want to be and how we can get you there. So it's great if you've maybe already had counselling in the past or therapy or dealt with some stuff and you want to now start looking forwards. That doesn't mean that you have to have had counselling in the past to come to coaching. So, as I say, that's very, very broadly speaking. So, why might you feel that you could benefit from working with a coach? So, as I say, we'll take you where you are now and look at where you want to be. So, it may be that you have a very specific goal that you want to work towards, and that's great because we can do that. We can look at what's stopping you from getting there. It may be that you're just feeling generally dissatisfied with where you are, you think that maybe you've got more in you, or you're just looking at, if I continue where I am with the path I'm on now, I'm not sure that's where I want to be going. So you don't have to have a particular problem or a particular goal in mind. But it's great to get some, and often the first sessions that we do are getting clarity on what it is that you actually want to achieve from coaching. What happens in a coaching session? Essentially, it's a conversation. You can't really get it wrong. A coach, generally speaking, holds space for you to talk about what it is that's going on for you at the moment, talk about this goal that you want to work towards, or this general dissatisfaction with life, and we gradually unpick what it is that's got you to where you are now and how we can move you forwards. Now, the sort of coaching I do is non-directive. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I might suggest some things that have worked for me. I might suggest things that work for other clients. And that can be helpful in that you can think, oh yeah, I can try that and it may or may not work, or I can try it and tweak it. Or sometimes clients will go, yeah, I know that's not going to work for me because that's not the way that I operate. But in knowing that's not going to work, I've sort of got an idea of what might work. Now, again, this is very broadly speaking because there are lots and lots of different types of coaching. And there are people, for example, health coaches who might say, okay, this is an exercise regime that you need to stick to, or this is a nutritional program that you need to stick to. And they'll coach you around that, but there's a fairly directive start to it. As I say, that's just one example. There are so many different types of coaching. I can only really speak to what I do. And as I say, my form of coaching is quite non-directive. So the analogy that I really like to use, because I think it sort of gives you a little picture, is quite often people will come to coaching when they know that they want to change something, but their head is so full of possibilities and options that they don't really know where to start. So the analogy that I use is we have a conversation that enables you to get all of that stuff out of your head, and we metaphorically lay it out on a table, have a look at what's not really serving you anymore, and we can look at getting rid of that. Now, that might be stuff that used to work for you that is no longer working. It might be stuff that you've just picked up over the years. It might be stuff that's not even yours. You know, somebody at some point said, oh, you should do this, and you've held on to it, and it's not really working for you. So all of that stuff, once we've identified that it's not really working for you, we can get rid of that. We can just swipe that off the table into the bin. And then what's left, we can look at, well, that is working for me. So that's great. We can pop that back in. That's sort of working. I might need to tweak that. So everything that's basically okay, that we're happy with, we can put it back in, not necessarily in the same order. So we might move things around a little bit. So that's the best analogy that I can use. It's sort of clearing everything out. It's getting everything out. And the most common phrase that I sort of hear is clients saying, oh, well, now that I can hear myself saying that, I realize that I need to do that. And that's just a joy when that happens. And a good coach also sort of reflects things back, because sometimes something will come out of your mouth and you don't really realize that you've said it. And when a coach reflects it back to you, this is what I'm hearing you say, it sort of brings you up short and you go, oh, I didn't even realize that I thought that. So that's a little bit about how I work. That's a little bit about coaching in general. If you want to find out more, you can like and subscribe to my videos, because I do these, I don't do them that regularly, but they pop up now and again and you'll get notified when they happen. You can contact me either via my website, which is karenastle.com. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn, or you can email me at karenastelcoaching@gmail.com. If you want to have a conversation, there is never, ever any obligation to take it any further. We can just talk about whether my style of coaching would be right for you, whether coaching in general is right for you, or whether something else might be better for you. As I say, there's never, ever going to be any hard sell from me. I may not be the coach for you, even if coaching is possibly beneficial for you. And I will always be really, really honest if I think that I can't help you. So I hope that demystified coaching a little bit for you. As I say, if you've got any questions, anything that's come up for you while you've been watching this, please do reach out to me and I'll be happy to have a conversation. For now, have a great day and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.